Alright, folks, and welcome back to the channel. We're here to discuss tonight's Champions League exit at the hands of FC Kairat Almaty. Obviously, there's probably going to be a lot that's going to be said because it was frankly embarrassing. So, I'm joined by Alistair and Nathan to go over it. How are you doing, Alistair?
As good as could be expected, Josh.
Nathan, how are you?
Um, well, I'm okay. How are you?
Alright, to be fair, but we'll get obviously get into everything. Um, Obviously, Alistair, pointing the obvious out, we're out of the Champions League playoff. Can I actually say I'm surprised, to be perfectly honest with you?
No,
Because I just seen it coming with the way the whole summers went in terms of the complacency and neglecting actually backing the manager and making sure that he's got the tools he needs to when he's going to probably our biggest game of the season, and he's not done that.
let's be honest, Josh. It's went beyond backing the manager. This board can't do the basics. But as fair as tonight goes, the players, the manager, the board, the whole board is a clusterfuck. The whole club is a clusterfuck at the moment. And I feel sorry for the 500 fans that went over there. I mean, because they didn't deserve that. The very least they deserved was a performance, and they showed they cared and stuff, but going through the motions, a lot of them.
Aye, exactly. Nathan, Peter Lowell adds FC Kairat to his list of Celtic European embarrassments to go alongside Malmo, Maribor. I can go on Cluj, Ferencváros. I mean, as I said there, I could have seen tonight coming for a mile off because
Um,
you don't go into a Champions League game without when you lose a key player, you try and get into that Champions League game, and they've had to the end of August to do so. So there's no excuses. They've not started in July without your key targets, i.e., winger, backup, left back, so and so.
you know, it was funny because I was watching it with my dad in the pub, and I nearly actually got kicked out. But it was, see when the players, lift their head to, look for a pass, and it was just caught. It was the same as last week. There were no attacking impetus or nothing, and that is on Brendan and the players. But as for the board, like it goes without saying, you don't sell a player worth 19 million, right? And you don't replace him. It is stupid. It genuinely is. It's borderline brainless. In any walk of life, any business, you don't sell quality and not replace it in anything in life.
Aye.
So that is beyond football. That is just brain dead. And I'll tell you what. I'll tell you one thing. I genuinely, as a Celtic fan myself, obviously, I don't think, personally speaking, the rest of the season doesn't matter to me because I already know we're going to beat Rangers because Rangers are just as bad as us.
I don't think we'll beat them on Sunday.
Because,
I don't think we'll beat Rangers on Sunday.
I know I don't think
I
we'll beat them,
don't think he's talking
we'll
about
win the
Sunday,
league.
I think.
I think we'll win the league, but that's what I'm saying. Like, who genuinely cares? Because I don't. I don't.
Aye, but that's the problem. How many times are the Celtic board going to bank? Oh, we'll win the league anyway, because Rangers will get their shit together at some point. When that is, who knows?
That's my
But they
dad.
will.
Everything comes in cycles.
But
So.
that's what my point is about the whole thing. Everything comes in cycles. I don't believe in that at all, because if you've got the
No.
right people on board and you're on top, you can stay on top with the right protocols, the right recruitment process, how you sell players, the selling model, and how you back managers. That's how you stay on top. Now we've got a manager in place that if you can back him, I'm pretty sure he would guarantee us domestic success. Because the phrase is, and the phrase is always, Alistair, you don't focus on what your rivals are doing. The problem is we focus on
We
it too
do.
much.
We
Aye,
do.
we do. But what you should be doing is focusing on your own affairs. We don't. Our affairs are it's a circus, and it's all came ahead with elimination of the playoff and missing out on a £40 million bounty. I'm sorry, any other job, any other football club, there would be sackings
They'd be
at
headstrong.
both level. But we're not any other football club. We say club like no other. There's some truth in that because we don't act like any other normal club. We act like Celtic, and we act the wrong way by not putting the right stuff in place. For it doesn't matter if it's Kyra or Matty, we're playing a Benfica. You should still treat it with the utmost respect because at the end of the day, it's the Champions League, and Kyra or Matty deserve to be there, and you can see that in the Alistair. So at the end of the day, it's up to the board to get our players in key positions for that game, and we didn't do that. So we get what we deserve in my eyes.
It all goes back to when we sold Kyogo and never replaced him. That's where the key point is. That's where the starting point is. If we're just talking about this qualifier. And no replace. They can say, "Oh, we've replaced Kyogo with Sin." Sin never even got on the night, so that tells you the level you're playing at.
Aye.
So they've obviously tried. Excuse my language here, but they've tried to smart arse it and it's blew up in their faces.
I'm glad.
Um,
time it blew off in their face.
but it's blew up in their face years before, and
Aye.
we win the league and then nobody says anything about it. So
I think listen, I'll ask you that question. At the end of the day, what does winning the Scottish League even mean to any use to?
means a lot because I want Celtic to win.
Means a lot because I don't like the alternative,
Listen, I get that.
I get your point. I know what you mean. I know what you're
trying to
mean.
make. I don't care about beating Rangers because I expect that. I just
and I
don't.
agree with you because I think if you're strong in Europe, domestic success will come
Well, that goes without saying.
because you can attract better players. You can attract better players in terms of money, and we could be attracting better players. It's not even better players. We can attract players, but we choose not to. And we choose to wait until we can register for for instance, like Kieran Tierney went off at 60 minutes or 70 minutes tonight. We should be bringing on Sriracha there. But no, we can't do that because we've waited too long.
And Bala Creature should have been starting instead of fucking James Forrest.
No, Yang.
Or Yang. Whatever you want to call it.
See, to be honest, and I said it in the preview, James Forrest should have never started that game, but what was the alternative?
Did James Forrest actually touch the ball?
Probably one of our only chances.
The point I'm making is...
Apart from the header, did they actually do anything?
No.
But that's the problem. To get the best out of Forrest, you need to bring him on with 25 minutes to go.
Alistair, but let's be honest, even when he comes on for 20 minutes, he does nothing.
He can't impact a game anymore, and it's no fair on him either.
No, it's not.
There's been more use putting us three up front in the front three that ended that game. Let's be honest. Because realistically speaking, who was the front three that ended that game?
The penalty.
No, because who was the front three that ended the game, Josh?
Adam Ida, Dyson Maeda, and Benjamin Negron.
Right, and I've got something to say about Dyson Maeda as well.
We'll go on to players in a minute. What players in a minute? We'll go on to players in a minute.
No. Okay, I'll listen to you. But my God.
The thing is, and I think James Forrest is symptomatic of where Celtic are at the moment, where we're scraping the bottom of the barrel for, like, James Forrest is starting a Champions League qualifier in 2025. That's not James Forrest's fault. It's the club yet again for not recruiting or keeping Nicholas Kuhn, because all we get told is, other players that we try and sign, players are want to keep until They see what their European position is. So why does that not taught to us? Is it be something different, and that's the problem. It's just a symbolic way of how we work. And I genuinely fear no matter this is the European regime under Peter Lawwell, Michael Nicholson, Dermot Desmond. But don't worry, it's like I really do hope that £4 million gamble on a winger was worth missing out on £50 million, because it's idiocy of the highest level. It's negligent. It's complacent. Any other words that you can use or you can find. It is a shambles. But do you know what? Give us all your £300 for your season ticket. Nah, I'm sorry. Fans have had enough. Fans are continuing to get shortchanged. And do you know, Nathan, do you know what the biggest thing that upsets me? Got to the Allianz last year. We had 8 months to need enough the day when we competed with Bayern Munich in their own backyard. To that, no.
To that.
And you know, and they have completely undone, for me, this tonight is completely undone everything that Ange Postecoglou built at Celtic, that Brendan Rodgers built last season, built a bit more pride in the club in terms of a European standpoint. That's gone.
Do you know? After me taking an absolute hissy fit, right? I calmed down a bit after the game, right? And I actually thought about it objectively. And do you know what I done? I started pissing myself laughing. I genuinely started dying laughing. I was like, we built up an ounce of respect in Europe last year just to get kicked out of a Kaira Almaty this year. I'm like, it's laughable. It's you can't even be annoyed at it, because I don't even want I don't even want to be annoyed about players like Forrest and Yang, and I'm
Because we know we're not good enough.
Exactly, I'm going to use Ida in that example as well. Like, my God, if they are what we class as Celtic players nowadays, and we have genuinely lost our club,
Aye.
it's that is just the blunt way of putting it.
And I might get comments saying that we're on title we Neds. But it's you want the best for your football club. People might go, you're not around the 90s comment, even though the 90s was 35 years ago. But anyway,
my dad used that for me well.
It's nothing to do with the 90s. Let's just part that. Like, we're going to see when it gets to the year 2050 and we've still no struggling to qualify. We're still going to go, well, you're only about the 90s. Just think you're lucky you're not about the 90s.
No, we'll talk about this game.
Aye. And do you know what really annoys me as well is that, people who try and defend the board, I don't know how, but the people who try and defend the board sit there and go, sit there and try and go, oh, well, we've been dominant. Who have we been dominant by? We've been dominant by Brendan Rodgers, who you failed to back.
We've been dominant in spite of the board.
Aye.
I mean, I'm going to say something, right? If I told you now, 2017, we played PSG, and Anthony Ralston started, and it was the heaviest home defeat ever in the Champions League. So, and we're still using them in 2025. That's no, I'm using that as an example. And you're having to ask a young guy, Kobe Donovan, to come on because none of the fullbacks can last 90 minutes. Come on.
It's for me, Nathan. This is the low of the low when it comes to. We talk a lot about how the European regression under Peter Lawwell since he walked in the door. This is the bomb.
I don't buy the Peter Lawwell shite. I buy as a club. I buy a club in general. Yes, no, listen. Yes, Peter Lawwell is a massive problem. Yeah, I get that. But as a club, as a standard, I mean, my God, we all say this all the time. When you go on holiday, all you see is Celtic tops. Agreed. As a worldwide entity, we're massive. And this is how we act. Getting beat off Kairat Almaty. We are the laughing stock of the
Because
Champions League.
we fell behind in Europe.
We are the laughing stock of the Champions League. Due it to the board wholeheartedly. And obviously part of that goes in the players as well. But I text you about... I text you, Josh, about 20 minutes in, saying there's no way we're going to win this game. I knew it.
The problem is that we have fell behind because of a complete the board. So clubs like Club Brugge, clubs like
It's arrogance.
it's arrogance.
Because of arrogance.
Arrogance, and that's the thing. You know, when Martin O'Neill was a manager in 2001, we were a European force. Now I completely understand that football has changed, but it's not changed that much now that we're struggling to qualify for the Champions League and can't win a European knockout tie in 21 years.
We couldn't even threaten them at Celtic Park.
Aye, and by the way, we've not won a European knockout tie since Peter Lawwell stepped in the front fucking door. When does that become acceptable? When does that? And that's my laugh when people sit here and try and defend. It's indefensible. You can't defend that. And Alistair, the ironic thing is they had Martin O'Neill on the panel.
Yeah.
And he sat there and says, we were competing and we were doing this. And I felt like saying, look at us now.
Well, see, to be honest, Martin O'Neill, I watched the coverage, right? Martin O'Neill sounded in shock. He sounded in shock. But if he'd been watching the club, me, you and Nathan aren't in shock tonight. We're raging, but we're not in shock.
Mm-hmm.
Because you reap what you sow, and I'm going to use the boardroom quote. We save money for a rainy day. Well, Michael, Peter and Dermot is pissing down. What are you going to do about it?
Aye. But that phrase has always just showed me where this club is at. If that's what they've got in terms of this rainy day stuff, Nathan, you shouldn't need to say for a rainy day. If you can go at Michel-Angelo Clichy, don't worry, we know if we bring you in, we'll qualify for the Champions League. Other players are strikers. Say we go to a centre forward in July and go at right. If we bring you in, we are convinced because we know we believe in our club practices and we know that they're world class. That we know that we'll bring you in and it'll not be a problem. We'll qualify for the Champions League. But no, we've not got that world class process or scouting process or just running as a club in general. So we're like, right, well, we don't know if we'll qualify, so we'll just wait. I mean,
Chief, I'm being brutally honest, right? And if Rangers fans watch this or whatever, I'm not really caring. But my thing is personally to all of that, I don't give a fuck. Because I don't care who we sign now until the end of the window. I'm done. I'm done with the process. I'm done with the board.
No
I'm done with the team.
There's
no process. I'm done with everything. I don't expect us to sign anybody because, as I said before, I says if we don't qualify for the Europa League or the Champions League, sorry, we're not going to sign anybody. I said this to Josh at the time. I don't know if I said it on the podcast or there, if I said it to him personally, but I said to you, we're not going to sign anybody if we don't qualify. Angelo Clichy won't come to Celtic now.
Somebody made a point so he'll be sitting there. I wouldn't be surprised he's sitting there with Celtic executive watching it and think, right, fuck, how do I get back? Can we turn back time? Can get back to Antwerp?
Can I fail the medical?
Aye, can I break my legs? Something like that. And that's the thing, and it's just
I don't blame him if he does.
Aye, it's just a complete lack of ambition. We are attracting players and jobs at a scouting. Like for instance, Paul Tisdale, who's meant to be one of our chief scouts, he was at Bristol City. Like, give me a break. or it doesn't matter, Exeter, Bristol City. The fact is, we're not attracting, people who will come in and do their job to a high extent. Now, I don't know if it is. I am also very hesitant to keep blaming the recruiting because I genuinely think Paul Tisdale or whoever, it's because we've seen too many, former head of recruitment go like that. I could have signed X, Y, and Z, but they told me no. So I don't know if they're going to, a list of players. Like, can I sign? What about this guy? No. Peter, what about this guy? Like, Michael, what about this guy? Have you got the discounted list? Have you got the sale, the 50% off list? Because that's how they operate.
It's like shopping fucking Lidl.
Aye. We want to maybe attract an Asda or a Tesco. Don't get me wrong. Don't diss Lidl, by the way.
I'm a bit older.
More an Aldi man myself, personally, but anyway, more an Aldi man.
The Lowell placing hanging in his back pocket lately.
Aye, so we'll try to maybe attract,
Lowell's trying to shop in Co-op.
Aye. No, the Co-op? No, that'd be the
Oh,
highest.
no way.
No
way.
Neil Lowell's trying to fucking...
The pound shop.
Aye, pound stretchers or home bargains.
Wait,
fucking
that's the price of inflation here. His Co-op went up there.
Right, we're not a shopping podcast, right?
No, that's just the QBC
buy. But no, I genuinely think that they'll go at, right, is there any cheaper out there? Can we save a wee bit of money? Well, I hope that £4 million gamble.
Guys, we've only got Kieran Tierney because Kieran Tierney's a mad selling fan.
Aye. And so I hope that £4 million gamble on a winger was worth it. Because it's lost you £40 million.
But realistically, right, I seen a couple of Celtic. Well, I heard a few Celtic fans wanting to pull about Tierney not being able to manage 90 minutes. Right?
You knew this.
But this is what I was going to say. I'm like, we all knew this because it was Celtic's fault that he's.
Kieran Tierney's not played 90 minutes for 2 years. How do you expect him just to come in and miraculously play 90 minutes?
There's a reason Brendan Rodgers wanted to keep Greg Taylor. Let's be honest.
I think if Greg Taylor was playing that game, I think I would have honestly had a heart attack.
No, but the point stands. You'd need to bring on. You're having to move Scales out to left back when he's clearly a centre half.
Because that's what happens when you don't give. Liam Scales is our best player tonight. Let's not.
It was.
Tonight.
Right, I'm going to go off the board. So we've been on for the board for a while because we obviously need to talk about everything in the performance, but the board get what they deserve just to end off on it. The manager tonight, Rodgers. I mean, I don't know what the plan was. It seemed to be just going out and hoofed the ball up and nothing happened. We seemed erratic. And that's no something I would look with Brendan Rodgers' team. Normally we're quite calm, Alistair, but we seem to just hoof the ball up to nothing. There was no tactical direction.
Why are we... No, guys in my head that is playing up front. Why are we hoofing balls up to him?
Same reason we hoof balls up to Kyogo.
It just looked like we were playing Real Madrid or Barcelona night where we were just hoofing balls to try and waste a bit of time when we were the better side.
We were spooked tonight, by the way.
I don't know how you could have been though, because we've seen it last week.
I've seen it last week. What's happened there? If some of these players have wanted a move, they've took one look at that pitch and thought, don't fancy it. That's what's happened there. But again, it's up to the manager to motivate them. But should you really need motivated in a Champions League?
No, you shouldn't. No, you shouldn't. But I thought, Nathan, there was a complete lack of tactical direction of what we were actually trying to do.
I mean, let me reverse the rules here and ask you the question, because as I said, you're the host. What were we actually trying to do?
No, we just, I don't even, that's something to say, I don't know.
Exactly. And because I think you could ask every Celtic fan on this planet who watched the game what we're trying to do, and nobody would know. I mean, for one, I think Rodgers picked the wrong team, to be honest with you, because I would have started Engels, and because I thought when Engels came on, he actually impacted the game somewhat.
He did.
One thing I would say about Arnie Engels, man, could not he kept hitting the first man, and that's coming from me, who normally defends him chronic, man, but Jesus
But
Christ.
my
The
God,
delivery of the night was,
my God, Nigel, Hatate and McGregor were awful.
Hatate was anonymous.
McGregor was Addison.
Negrin just kept running out of trouble.
He kept falling over.
Carl McGregor was the hide and seek champion tonight. And this probably begs the question again. There needs to be a point where we need to look at. Maybe I'm overreacting here, right? I don't know, but when are we going to have to go out, right? What's the future? Because Cal McGregor's not going to be able to keep constantly playing.
We've said this for years, though.
Exactly.
I've honestly, like, since me and you, started going to games and things like that, and like years ago, since Victor Wanyama's left, I've said to you for years, I've replaced him.
Aye.
I say because
we don't replace players, but that's the problem.
Exactly, because it's pure incompetence, and the thing is people could say you're overreacting or you've got it easy because you're a Celtic fan. I still expect my team to replace players with quality, and I expect my players to try, and it just feels like none of them actually gave a fuck tonight. None of them cared. None of them were fucking gutted after they got beat either.
It looked that way. I'll give you credit there.
Alistair, Nathan talked a lot about the asset stripping in his squad, and that's what's happened over the last 4 years. The complete asset stripping of the squad. Nicholas can obviously leaving,
Kyogo
left, Mattarelli, obviously Jota's now back, but Jota left as well. Starfelt, Giacomakis, Abada. It's just complete asset stripping. We've not replaced anything. See, at one point we had Alistair Johnson, Josip Juranovic. Why can that not be the case all the time? And I'm sick of people going, well, they're not going to play. No, you have two right backs. You have two players in every single position. Go on that. Fighting.
Can I ask you a question? I'm going to put a hypothetical to you, and I want your honest opinions. I'll ask you both. If Don Mackay was still here and no forced at the club, do you think we'd be in a better state? Damn right we would. Because you've been back managers. That's how you get the sack.
I don't know if you can maybe see her for 3 weeks or a month. I don't know if you.
But at least you communicate.
I know that. No, I agree with you on that. No, I do agree with you on that. I don't know if you can realistically say we've been a better or a worse position. Probably a good chance we would be, but I don't know if you can guarantee it.
What I read about him was he basically got forced out of the club because he never had a clue what he was doing, and he admitted that. So
I think you've read something completely different to what everybody else has read, because he get chased out of the club basically, and it's well known fact he get chased out of the club because he had no ideas for Celtic. Had no ideas for Celtic, and the old dinosaurs didn't like it. So
at the end of the day, who knew or who young is going to succeed at this board? That is just a harsh reality. Celtic will never progress anywhere unless this board goes.
In terms of European, we won't know.
No, in terms of league as well, because it's a matter of time before Rangers. See if Rangers actually had a manager that was half competent, right? They would have won the league this year. They still could if they beat us at the weekend. But if they had a manager that was half competent, they could have still beat us. That's the fact.
The way I look at it is, that's the problem. That's the mindset, though. It's not in terms of Rangers. It's Celtic, and I know what your point is, but that's the point as well. is that it's just
You
all
could be looking over the fence.
we're looking over the fence while there's a fucking circus happening behind us, and that is where we're at, to be honest. But I mean, I was still obviously to finish off. Obviously, we get into Europa League, and there will probably be so much negativity in the next home game, and just probably every game this season. Because, as I said, fans have had enough. But I just don't really know what happens now, because the summer's been a mess. The main game in the season that we needed to get right, but failed. So what is kind of next?
An absolute shit show.
Aye.
If you want me to be totally honest with you. You can tell that. You can tell they're all not talking to each other. Rodgers is pissed off because he's not getting players. The board's pissed off because he's not combating. The fans are pissed off because we're getting it for both sides. We're the ones that suffer. No the board, no the players, no even the manager. We're the ones that suffer.
Aye.
Because we can do nothing about it.
Aye. Well, at least the people that constantly tell us that we get our run in the Europa League are going to get their wish. I think they'll get harsh reality of where we actually are in Europe.
I hope they do, because see the amount of fucking bastards I had to listen to tonight that said that we'll get the final and all that, we could win it. I'm like, man, just shut up.
I know we will.
Be quiet. I don't even care if they do win it.
There's no chance of you will.
Exactly.
I think people will get harsh reality, but
then the point. Sorry, Josh, but the point I made is, as well as, you know, I look at the chance that fell to Maida over 2 legs, right? And I hate being this negative about him, right? But I'm gonna be just a little. But he missed the chance against Aberdeen. He missed the chance last week. He missed the chance at Ibrox, and he missed the chance tonight. I'm sorry.
And last week.
If he wants to leave, then he can get to fuck. See, I'm being serious here, because he did not look interested, and he's not looked interested the whole season. I'm being serious for any other player that feels.
I'm going to semi-agree. I think players like Tyson Maida are going to have a bit of, and this is an uncomfortable conversation probably we don't want to have, but Tyson Maida needs to have a kind of hard look at himself, because he's cost us a treble. He cost us a win at Ibrox. And we all like Tyson Maida, and I'm not trying to tell him.
I love him.
But I think it's an uncomfortable conversation that's going to be had. He cost us the treble against Aberdeen. He's probably cost us progression to the Champions League tonight. He cost us a win at Ibrox with that chance. It's becoming, I'm sorry. There's no excuse for that, no matter who you are.
And there's not another player on that pitch who'd rather the chance fall to than Maida.
Because I'm starting to think Alistair was last season just a purple patch.
I'm just worried what's behind him, mate. I'm going to be honest.
I don't care what's behind him.
Whether we like it or no, the guy, well, clearly he's the best we've got, and that's that.
Well, I'm worried then.
Well, that's the best.
I'm worried then, because and that's the thing. It's, as I said, love Maida and think he's brilliant, whatever, but you can't miss that thing with chances and get. You talk about what's behind them. You can still. The problem was we slate players like Yang and they're not good enough for missing chances.
Like Yang to score that.
Maida's not scoring, and that's the problem, and it's costing us now, and it's costing us too regular. I mean, getting obviously the Europa League, as we've discussed as well, that there's not players that are good enough for the club. Players like Yang, Forrest, it just isn't cut out for it anymore. I thought as well the penalty takers were a weird order. Why would you not put Arnie Engels up first?
Why is
Yeah.
Engels not first? Exactly.
He's a designated penalty taker, and you put the guy who's extremely low in competence up first.
And by the way, that's
Doesn't make sense.
He was injured, by the way.
No, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
And to finish off, I mean, I don't really know I think fans have had enough. For me, that's the line in the sands with the fans. The fans are fuming,
Both.
and there will be protests at Celtic Park, and there will be sat the board chants getting sung, and it doesn't. And do you know what the worst thing? See if we did somehow get a win on Sunday, this can't be forgotten about.
I don't care
No.
if we win on Sunday. I expect to win on Sunday. I would have won. I would have rather won the night over winning Sunday. I don't care about Sunday. I don't.
We'll take, to be honest, I mean, regardless, what happens on Sunday, we're still going to be ahead of Rangers. So Sunday doesn't matter.
Exactly, I think that's what Nathan's saying about you draw go through the night if you were to pick the two games, but the harsh reality is we could have neither.
Yeah,
And that's the thing. And
the week for hell, matter of fact.
Aye.
It's not done, it's going to be the week for hell.
and that's the thing, there's going to be chances at the board and whatever else, but the Celtic board have done this to themselves. It's complacent. It's just
I don't mean this as what I'm going to say, Josh. It's self-harming.
it's self-inflicted. It's self-inflicted. For a better word, it's self-inflicted.
I want to use a terminology here, right? Or I don't even know if you call it a terminology, right? But see if you're in your job, right, and you look at strategic marketing for, you know, if you need, you know, if you're a company, right, and you go to yourself, you go, how do I promote my product, or how do I advance the product? And then you look at something, you don't invest in it, you don't promote it, you don't do anything with it, but you regress it. You know what happens to the person that's in charge of that? They get fired. You know what happens to a person that fails in their task at their job? They get fired. You know what happens at Celtic football? Celtic Football Club, you get a bonus.
Before we go on at your point, it's going on in my head at the moment. Your conglomerates, they team up with the cartels. It's a monopolies and mergers commission. Fucking Jack Jarvis sitting there, man. Jesus Christ. A monopoly, the mergers commission, and then they corner the market for a loss leader. Honestly, it's better. I get your. I managed to decipher the point, but.
Right,
I thought we were at PMQ there.
Right politician answer that. No, but I managed to decipher the point. The point is, any other company, if you don't do your job right, you get sacked.
Right.
Michael Nicholson's job, I don't even know what it is, but he'll just get another big fat bonus.
If you want my opinion with Nicholson's job title is, it definitely being completely honest with you.
I'm looking forward to going to that fence, Josh.
Execute profanity. Law well off. That's what the job is.
His job's head asshole. That's what it is. To be honest, but it's obviously an embarrassing night. I think that goes without saying. But and as I said, there's going to be protests for the board, and quite rightly so, because fans have had enough. But I'm going to probably wrap it up there because we've been gone for fucking 40 minutes. Aye, man. So we've been going for quite a while. But obviously because there's obviously been a lot to cover tonight, that's fine. But I'm wrap up there. Thanks, Alistair, for joining us. Thanks, Nathan.
All right,
for
mate.
joining us for the counselling session. That's what I'll call it.
A couple of them.
Mrs. Brown, Dermot Murray, a counselling session. That's what it was like.
Celtic counselling session. But anyway, I'm going to wrap up there. Thanks, everybody, for watching. And until next time, we'll see you after. And hail, hail.
Hail, hail.